Okay, I have to go dry ASAP now. Okay, we made it. This is the Pacific. Good morning, everyone. Today is our first day back in our house from our trip to England and our last day in our house before our big road trip begins. So
good morning.
Today is going to be a day of packing and havoc. Excited?
So excited. We have a lot of work to do though.
It's a bit scary to be leaving our lovely home. There's nothing like your own bed, and we just came home and slept in our own bed from our trip, and now we're going on another trip. The van kind of counts as our own bed too, but yeah, strange feeling.
Okay, this is it. We're officially van lifers. We've given up our residence.
The real deal. We just drove away. Met our tenant today. We are about to drive across the bridge and wave goodbye to Halifax. For the what broke? Okay, I think a drawer just slid open. We're about to cross the bridge and leave Halifax for the last time in a long time. Yeah, that's the other drawer that slid.
This love is an ocean wide that never runs dry.
Rory and I made a beeline for Toronto in 24 hours to make it in time for a week-long field hospital training exercise that we were doing with the Canadian Red Cross. We both work for them on an on-call basis for international disaster relief. And after we did our training week, we visited the cute little town of Niagara-on-the-Lake and then Niagara Falls. And it's one of those must-see sites. Obviously, it's a big bucket list item, and it just seemed like a really obvious and iconic first stop for our epic cross-Canada road trip. We are in Niagara Falls. This is like the first day of like full freedom for us. And last night, just the fact that we're like actually living in our van full time now was like really settling in.
It's a pretty surreal feeling.
It is, yeah. It's like Rory finished her training that she was doing with the Red Cross, and I was facilitating that too. So that was kind of the last thing on our agenda before being completely free and not really having anything to do. So basically now we're just like, where should we go? Let's go to Niagara Falls. So
we're here at Niagara Falls.
Pretty cool place to be.
Here's
cool place
to the next chapter.
Yeah, cool place to start the next chapter for sure.
This love is an ocean wide that never runs dry.
We circled the Niagara Peninsula and found a beautiful spot on Lake Erie to spend our Thanksgiving weekend. We watched this amazing sunset from the van while having Thanksgiving dinner together. And we even got a rotisserie chicken from the store, so it was a proper roast dinner, which is a luxury wherever you live, but especially so if you live in a van. We hung out at the beach, we did some paddle boarding, soaked up some rays, and then we spent the next few days visiting friends and family in Hamilton, Kitchener, London, and St. Thomas. We're so lucky to have so many friends across the country who we can just drop in and see. And a lot of the time we squeezed in a hot shower, as well as a meal or two, in great company. So we felt super fortunate and spoiled at all times on our road trip.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our second installment of our trip. We have spent the last week in southwestern Ontario, Niagara Falls area, spent some time with my brother, met up with quite a few good friends and stuff, had a really great time in southwestern Ontario. Now we're heading kind of north and west, so we're going to go north up around the Great Lakes. Hopefully we're going to see some really beautiful lake country this afternoon. And we're gonna kind of end up in Thunder Bay, so it's about 15 hours drive. I think we're gonna do it in 4 or 5 days maybe. It's really beautiful time of year to drive across the country. I think especially just like Ontario so far has been really, really beautiful with the fall colors. Beautiful clear skies today. We had a really beautiful day yesterday too. Went for a nice hike to Dundas Peak. We're really excited. We had a great workout this morning, went to Fit for Less. We've been trying to work out every single day, and it's obviously a great place to just go in and shower, so that's been awesome. And it's super cheap too, so yeah. This is Rory's very comfortable driving position that she has chosen to adopt.
One man's uncomfortable seat position is another man's comfortable seat position, and in this moment, I'm loving it.
That's comfortable for you.
Right now it is. We went bouldering with Chris and Hannah, and my forearms and arms are killing me, and I don't know.
That's your hunched over, crippled arms stance.
Yeah.
Do you want me to put the back of the seat forward so that it's at like an acute angle? Or no?
Yeah, why don't we try
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. We found a beautiful spot by the river to camp in last night, so I'm gonna go take a dip and wash myself off. It's a little bit cold. It's definitely not washing and swimming in the river temperature, but I think it'll be fine. It should be nice.
Ow! Woo. Is it cold?
It's cold. The geography is definitely changing as we head north, so the trees seem to be a lot nakeder here, so the fall is kind of more advanced. It's also, you know, just as with every day that goes on in October, the fall colors slowly disappear, so we're getting through that, unfortunately, but really beautiful drive here. So much that you can see from the highway, so many beautiful rivers and lakes and just trees, and you know, there's a lot of beautiful Canada out there on basically wherever we go. So yeah, I'm excited to see all of the scenery change as we start heading west towards the prairies too. So honestly, this is such an amazing way to see Canada, because you can fly to a city and visit, but really, like, all of the best that Canada has to offer is on a road in the middle of nowhere. So this is the best way to get to the middle of nowhere, is to just drive through it. Good morning. It's a horrible cold day, and yesterday I decided that since I swam in Lake Erie, why on a trip across Canada would I not make an effort to at least take a dip in each of the Great Lakes? So we spent the last 2 days driving around Lake Huron, and we're about to kind of pass onto where Lake Superior is. So last night was kind of our last chance to stop and find somewhere to swim in Lake Huron, and here we are today. It's a bloody miserable, cold, rainy day, and I just woke up and I've decided, well, this is my last chance to swim in Lake Huron for quite a while. So here I go, and it's going to be cold, it's going to be horrible, and I can't wait. You know, hot showers are overrated in my opinion. Humans weren't made to have a hot shower in their house that they can shower every day. Like, it's we think of it as a basic necessity of life, but really it's a luxury. You know, we were supposed to go out and take a cold dip once a day in a river or a lake or whatever. So here I go, living life how it's supposed to be lived. We made it through Thunder Bay, and once we hit Manitoba, we were met with 360 degrees of flat horizon, which is really kind of amazing, beautiful in its own way, and the view kind of feels like you're at sea. Something you really don't really think about is how amazing the skies are. So like when you have flat horizon all the way around you, most of your view is just sky. So we were lucky to see all kinds of amazing skies in the prairie provinces. So we arrived in Winnipeg and spent the day in the Nordic Spa, which we really needed after a couple of weeks of slumming it like dirty hippies. We really felt very clean and fresh after the spa. And then we spent the following day at the Canadian Museum for Human Rights, which was really interesting and architecturally a really cool building. And then in the evening, we hit the road, headed west for Saskatchewan, and we were loving the prairie driving because it's just flat, open road. So I really felt like nothing could go wrong. We pulled off the highway to stop for a dinner break, and unfortunately, I was proven wrong. Rory and I just had the hardest van life experience so far, getting stuck on a dirt road in rural Saskatoon. Rural Saskatchewan. We're nowhere near Saskatoon. We're not even in Saskatchewan. My mind scrambled. You might or might not be able to see the huge pit of dirt that we literally spent an hour getting out. Thank God we are out now. We were just about at the end of our tether. We applied the laws of physics and they came through strong, but we ruined quite a few random van implements trying to use them as like those traction board things with no success. So that's too bad, but Rory was a trooper, and
we actually worked together.
We made a good team. We unloaded everything out of the van to reduce the weight. This is the hill. You can't see anything, but we took the seats out. We took all of our stuff out that weighed anything, so that we could get it out. And here, I can carry that, Roar. Look at her. What a beast of a woman. Episode 2 of the saga. After we pulled the van out, Rory turned off the engine but left the key in the ignition, which was a grave mistake. So we got out, packed everything back in the van, kind of tried to fill in the ruts in the road that we'd made, and then by the time we got back to get in the van, it wouldn't start. Basically the vehicle battery drained into the rear battery. So we sat there for a minute, trying to figure things out, and I was thinking, okay, can I wire that straight in parallel with this one and try and start from the back battery, and thought about it for a bit. Anyway, then 5 minutes later, we tried again and it worked. So anyway, we're feeling much more rosy now. Luckily, there was a McDonald's in the town about 20 minutes away, so we stopped at McDonald's for some food to soothe our souls, and now we're back on the road. Eventful night. Experienced both A, getting stuck in the dirt, and B, having an empty battery. So luckily, we're still doing good. So not too bad. We kept our cools mostly. We can just see the Rockies in the distance here. We're headed south from Edmonton to Calgary, and they just popped up at the edge of the prairie there. I think Rory's feeling pretty emotional. First time you've seen those in a while, hey?
Yeah. Nice to see them again.
We took an unconventional route through Saskatoon, Edmonton and Calgary to visit friends in each place, and again we were super grateful for good company, good people and nice warm showers in each place we stopped. Then we backtracked to the east a bit to visit the amazing town of Drumheller, which is home to some of Canada's richest fossil beds. It's basically packed with dinosaur bones, which is awesome. On the way there, we pulled over to take some pictures and enjoy the sunset when somebody pulled up to help or offer us help at the roadside, assuming that we were broken down. And I wanted to include this because I feel like rural Alberta takes a lot of flack for being rough around the edges, but in reality, it doesn't matter where you are. Most people are good people that are going to help you out. Anyway, we only planned to stay in Drumheller for one night, but we ended up staying for 3 nights because we had a really beautiful camping spot overlooking the Badlands. Personally, I was in dino heaven, checking out the museum and the geology and so on. We did some really great hikes, and we even watched Jurassic Park 1, 2 and 3 on the 3 nights that we were there. So it was really perfect. And our favorite part of it all, of course, was the amazing Royal Tyrrell Museum. I actually came to this museum when I was like 6 years old. We came here when I was a kid, and it was my favorite place. I do remember this distinctly, and one thing I really remember was I had a t-shirt from the gift shop that had like all different dinosaurs on it, so I'm gonna check out the gift shop. Maybe I'll get myself a t-shirt.
Good morning. We're still in Drumheller today. We were planning on only being here for about a day or so, but this is our third morning waking up here, and it's beautiful. We went to the Dinosaur Museum yesterday, and I think today we kind of wanted to just explore and just go on some cool hikes. I was kind of getting ready in the van, and Will was flying the drone, and I guess he said it just like fell from the sky, which never happens, so he had to go rescue it. I think we had a propeller blade casualty, but otherwise the drone's fine. So I'm gonna go join him and we'll get hiking.
We woke up to a great day today. We're finally in the mountains. I crashed my drone yesterday. It had a bit of a flyaway accident and ended up tumbling out of the sky into the bottom of the canyon at Drumheller. So I hiked down into the canyon, kind of scrambled down to salvage it. Took it to a drone shop in Calgary. They said that it was too complicated to fix the gimbal that was broken. They couldn't do it there. Blah blah blah. So I decided to take matters into my own hands, and last night I fixed it with super glue, and I've been flying it this morning, and it's working great. So that was a big win. And we woke up. We kind of drove here into Kananaskis late last night, so we could just about see the mountains as the sunset behind them, but not too much. But now we have woken up to a beautiful, snowy, gorgeous mountain scene here. Perfect little spot just off the highway. Wow, the view kind of speaks for itself. It's beautiful. So I feel like today's going to be a good day. I'm feeling grateful that I was able to get the drone fixed, and grateful for Rory's company, and so glad that she is going to be thrilled to be back in the mountains. She's been talking so much about how she can't wait to get to the mountains and how she misses the mountains, and I mean, I can see why. So yeah. We're just camped up outside of Lake Louise now, and we drove from Banff, got into Lake Louise, just arrived at the lake in the evening, walked up, a little bit of snow starting to fall, made for like a really, really mystical scene, and obviously it's like the postcard beauty of Lake Louise, so that was awesome. We really lucked in with the weather, like coming into the mountains for that like first snowfall was really beautiful. We're going to hit the Icefields Parkway tomorrow between Lake Louise and Jasper, and I'm sure we're going to be in for a really, really beautiful drive for the rest of the way. Welcome to the Icefields Parkway. I need to fulfill my urge to dip my head in any nice fresh water that I see And I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but this might be the clearest blue water I've ever seen. And we've got a beautiful day for it. It's not snowing in this particular spot right now, but yeah, this is what the ice fields look like. It's amazing. Anyway, where should I go for it? Right here?
Yeah, go right there.
Right here. Let's lure up here. It's cold.
Is that refreshing?
I couldn't quite get my whole head in because it's like really shallow, but I think it's gonna have to be just a face dunk today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good job, baby.
You like the lad?
Yeah, let's go warm up.
We had campfire sausages for dinner, and I figured, well, we've got a campfire, we've got to make s'mores, but unfortunately we didn't have any chocolate or graham crackers, so instead what we're doing is we're going to put them on some apple slices with Nutella. It's going to be like healthy s'mores. We'll see. Hit me with one of those healthy s'mores.
You know what?
Go on, give it a chomp, see how it is. Rory had no idea I was going to come in here and video her eating it when she agreed to this. I mean, to me, doing this with banana made more sense, but
Apple is so good though, it's like crisp.
yeah, definitely a huge success. Nutella and then whatever vessel you want and a marshmallow. That's the only ingredients for a s'more for the rest of my life as far as I'm concerned.
We headed down from Mount Robson, which is the highest peak in the Canadian Rockies, and in towards Vancouver. We spent a day hiking in the beautiful sea to sky area just north of Vancouver before taking the ferry across to my family home in Nanaimo. My twin brother Jack surprised us by joining us on the ferry, and it was awesome to finally be reunited after being stuck on opposite coasts for 2 years because of the pandemic. We spent some time catching up with my family for a few weeks before completing the very last little bit of our driving west that we could do, which is the drive across Vancouver Island to Tofino, where we could finally take a dip in the Pacific.
We made it to the Pacific coast in what I think is going to be the final installation of the Cross Canada vlog. It's a beautiful, stormy, windy day, and now I think it's time probably for me to ceremoniously dunk my head in the ocean to prove that we made it, even though it's a miserable cold day in December. What do you think?
Yes, you have to.
Let's do
The
it.
only way.
Is there any way to dunk your head in the ocean without getting the rest of you wet? Because I don't want to be wet and cold for the rest of the day, but... There is no way to do that without getting soaked. I'm like, here comes a wave. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was
Oh my
going to
god. Are you ready for a cup of tea?
be. I'm glad I took the mic off because it was right here. I would have got soaked. Okay, I have to go dry ASAP now. Okay, we made it. This is the Pacific.